And no analogy is perfect, no metaphor is perfect. But I was just thinking about all the stuff that's going on with Israel and the UN and the ICC, and the fact that Israel has a ambassador in the UN. Folks, do you know what this is? What this is the equivalent of? The fact that the Israeli ambassador, I think his name is Gilad Erdan, is sitting in the UN and telling the UN how, despicable they are and all this kind of stuff. Imagine, you know, that the SS and that Hitler and all his goons are still around, and at the same time there's some kind of entity that's kind of the prequel to the state of Israel, right? And Abba Eban, I don't know if you guys remember who Abba Eban was. He was basically the representative of Israel to the UN, I think, in the 60s. So imagine like somebody like an Abba Eban type or Abba Eban himself, let's say. He goes to Hitler's eagle's nest. You know the place they show in the videos where Hitler's just hanging out? It's like in Russian we call it dacha, his villa. So it's like Hitler and Goebbels and everybody. Himmler and Rudolf Hess. Who's that other guy? This is the pilot guy, I forget his name. And then Eichmann and Abba Eban is sitting there, and every so often he just yells out, he comes there. Like he gets access to go there, and he comes and he's like, "Gentlemen, I'm here to bring a grievance against you." What's the grievance? I'm a representative from, the land of Israel, and I have a grievance. My grievance is that you guys are killing the Jews in Europe in camps. You are systematically killing the Jews in Europe in camps. And what would they say to him in response? They would get up and they would tell him, "So what? So what, Mr. Abba Eban? You and your friends are killing German children in Dresden. You just incinerated Dresden and you're making a genocide on Germans in Dresden." And then, maybe a couple of weeks later, Himmler gets up in a helicopter and it crashes, right? Or he gets up in like a dirigible, like the Hindenburg, and the thing goes down in flames. And everybody obviously gets up in the eagle's nest, and they gave him like a state funeral. Not only that, everybody in the international community gets up and sends their condolences for the death of Himmler, the guy who orchestrated the camps. And once again, Abba Eban gets up and he says, "Gentlemen, like you are despicable. Everybody here is despicable." And the entire so-called international community, the entirety of Europe, and the eagle's nest says, "Well, you're still killing kids in Dresden. You guys are committing genocide. The Jews are committing genocide, and their friends." Folks, you understand that no analogy is perfect. We are now sitting inside of a building that, that is run by an entity that is basically, they are the SS. So anytime anybody tells you, well, we have to deal with the international community and diplomacy and talk here and talk there and balance this and balance that, folks, find the happy medium. You can't just, folks, there is no medium here. You're talking to the SS. And you know, by the way, who the administration is, the American administration is now? They're not even American. I can't even use the word America for them. They're a foreign usurper entity. Folks, do you know who they are right now? They are the Pope who was around during Hitler. The Pope, I think his name was Pius, the one that basically placated Hitler. This is who they are at best. Blinken, Biden, State Department, probably Obama behind them. Folks, this is who they are. So when people say we have to speak to America, we have to listen to America, folks, Abba Eban or Gilad Erdan or Bibi or whoever represents Israel in this analogy, in this metaphor, right? Whether metaphorical or real or current, does not have to listen to a pope or the Pope who is placating Hitler and his goons, aka the UN being placated by the US administration. Folks, this is where we're at. The question becomes, are we going to continue responding to the SS? The UN is the SS. Folks, UNRWA is Hamas, is the SS. I mean, maybe they're worse than the SS. I don't know, in some ways. It's over. It's all over. The state of Israel has a person sitting inside a building owned by the SS, trying to scream at the SS, hey guys, you're against Jews. Yeah, we know. We know. What are you going to do about it? Jew. Folks, like I said, Frank and I always say, no analogy, no metaphor is perfect, but I hope it gets a point across. It's over, my friends. It's time to, yes, act. If Hashem has already shown you that you're alone, then doing something, what's called unilaterally, is not really so crazy. If you're alone again, as it is. Yeah, we do have friends. Israel has friends. The Czechs, the Hungarians, a couple of people here and there, you know. Maybe 70% of the American people, Baruch Hashem, that's for their merits, not for us. You know? They need it. I mean, it's nice to have friends again, but they need it more. Folks, this whole international community business is in terms of institutions, it's the SS. Himmler, Goebbels, Hitler, Goering, that's his name, Hess, Eichmann. Folks, it's madness. And of course the Pope that placated them, aka this current administration. There's no one to talk to, folks. That's why shoot first, talk later. That's it. All right, guys. Laila Tov.